Welcome to the Dawson's Creek Podcast. Not with our special guest, Chelsea Mackay. Now on to the show.
Why are you wearing a cape?
I always wear a cape. Hello and welcome to the Not Dawson's Creek Podcast, a show where we... Who booked us in the library?
I think that was you.
All right. Anyway, welcome to the Not Dawson's Creek Podcast, a show where we interview your regular yet extraordinary Dawson Creek citizens. Today we have the extreme pleasure of interviewing a dancer, musical theater director, and social activist. We are incredibly excited. Please welcome our guest.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Of course. Chelsea Mackay. Is it Dawson Creek or Dawson's Creek?
Well, I think if you asked James Vanderbeek, who I saw yesterday, he would say Dawson's Creek, but he just lives in my head, so I'm gonna go with Dawson Creek.
Oh, okay. Are you a fan of Dawson's Creek?
No,
I've never seen it.
nah, not a single episode.
I've never seen it yet. I still dream about James Vanderbeek.
Yeah, well, he's very dreamy.
Do you think he's dreamy?
I still can't get over the fact that you're wearing a cape.
Okay, so fun fact about this cape. You work with Debbie Longley at the musical theater department for the high school here. You guys put on tremendous productions. They're always awesome. And this was actually purchased at Anchega. I saw that you guys had a cape, and I was like, bet I am on that. But on to you now, because you're really the star of the show of this episode. Enough about James Vanderbeek, enough about Anchega. You're Chelsea Mackay, the Chelsea Mackay. Chelsea, were you born and raised here?
I was.
Yeah. What year do you want to leave that out?
I was born here in June 27th, 1989. There, everyone. Is social security number next? Social insurance number. We're in Canada.
Credit card number next would be fantastic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But so you were born and raised here. Obviously, you're very a part of the art scene here, and you do a lot with that. Were you like into art as growing up, or did that kind of come in during high school? When I imagine you went to the musical theater department.
I sure did. But actually, I grew up in the dance program here, Wendy Cox's School of Dance, back in the day.
Yeah.
I started dancing when I was 5. I did tap, jazz, ballet. No, I didn't do ballet. Tap, jazz, and baton were the only things you could take when I was little.
Yeah.
And then it sort of branched out from there into ballet and hip hop and lyrical and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then, once I got into high school, started taking musical theater with Debbie, and just like fell in love with the theater,
right,
with the stage, with performing, everything. Just loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you like most about dance?
Oh, it's so good for like mixing physical exercise with like creativity and sort of like emotional release, I guess you would say, too.
Yeah,
because you can like really express yourself as a dancer. Yeah,
absolutely. And I like 2 of those 3 things. I don't like physical exercise, so that's why I edit, and that's why we write. Ryan, do you like dance?
I do, actually. I've never been like really involved in dance, just because I've never had the opportunity. And I'm a terrible dancer. I'm probably the worst dancer you've ever seen.
There's
but
no such thing.
It doesn't stop me from moving. Because it's just all about the movement. It's about getting that energy out, getting that emotion out.
You just said you can't dance, and then you just dropped the sweetest shoulders I've ever seen in my life.
There's some good library moves.
Thank you.
Before I forget, can we do a remake of Footloose with you and Ryan?
That would be ideal.
Okay, who's Kevin Bacon?
Me, obviously.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my apologies. Ryan's the town that makes people stop dancing.
Oh, no. He's the priest who cracks down hard on it.
Is this a bad time to mention that I've never seen Footloose?
Yeah.
That is actually a show we put on at Unshaga Hall, but before my time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's no excuse.
Speaking of which, what was your first production?
My first production was The Wiz.
Oh, Aaron.
An all-white cast of The Wiz, as one does. Yeah, it had Aaron Tremblay in it as The Wiz.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I had so much fun. That was an amazing show.
Yeah, yeah. Who'd you play?
I played a Yellow Brick Road because we had a tap dancing Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I wore a suit that had gold sequined bricks cut out and like pasted to it, and a gold sparkly hat and my tap shoes. Of course, I was a chorus member, so I also played a Winky.
Oh, yeah.
And an Emerald City Citizen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were the star of the show.
I basically was.
You basically was.
So as an homage to that, when we end here today, can I say goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
Yes,
Excellent.
please do.
So then you did The Wiz, and then was that your first production, like grade 10?
Yeah, that was my grade 10 year.
Yeah.
And then next was Beauty and the Beast, in which I played a canning napkin and also a very dashing, just like city person.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
villager, I suppose.
Villager. That's what I describe myself as.
Yeah.
And then what was your last year?
It was Crazy for You.
Crazy for You.
Yeah, and that one I had the role of Patsy, who was a very ditzy showgirl. And I was also like the head student choreographer. So I would stay at school like every day until like, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 9 p.m. just doing choreography and teaching other kids dance.
And was that exhausting or was that exhilarating?
It was a bit of both, but it was pretty awesome. It was a tap dancing heavy musical, and tap dancing is like my specialty.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun teaching kids to tap dance. And then we would like whip it out. This was weird. Like I remember there was some concert at Sedaten. Yep, good old Sedaten
Wow,
Hall.
Sedaten Hall reference.
I don't remember what it was. It was a concert or a dance or something. And there was a bunch of kids from theater there, and we all just started like tap dancing together.
Oh, really?
And it was lovely.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. And so you do the musical theater program, and then do you continue with the arts as you leave high school, or how did that work?
Well, after high school, I went to university in Vancouver at Simon Fraser University.
Yeah.
And I did start out in the arts. I started out in the theater production program there.
Yeah.
And my friend who had also been, well, I also got hired as a technician at Unshaga Hall when I was in grade 11, I think. So I was doing lights and sound and, you know, anything else that needed doing, basically organizing set pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Heavy lifting. So I went into theater production to kind of do more of that.
Yeah.
And my friend Scott Owens had also graduated from DCSS, then SPSS, and gone into that program. So he was like, come join us. And I was like, okay. And then that program was nothing like working at the theater here.
Oh, really?
And so I was super disappointed.
What was it? Was it just like more, or what was the difference?
It was not fun. Working at the theater here was fun.
Yeah.
I loved all the people I worked with. We were real goofy and silly, and we got to do everything. And it was like, we made beautiful set pieces out of trash. We cut apart other costumes to turn into new beautiful costumes. Everything was like super creative, super recycling, kind of this crazy process. And there it was just really soulless comparatively, especially on the production side. Like the actors had a lot of fun, but if you were in production, it was just like, okay, we're gonna go to the hang and focus. All right, it's dark. Tilt that to the left. Okay, now, you know, it was just like, okay, on to the next light. You're just like, oh, sweet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just wasn't, I'm sure, like, I don't know what the SFU program's like now. I don't want to bash it. But,
No.
But at the time, it was, it just wasn't what I was hoping for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then what brought you back to Dawson?
It was a while that I was away. I would usually come back for summers.
Right.
While I was finishing up my degree. I ended up doing a degree in gender, sexuality, and women's studies with a minor in First Nation studies from SFU. And then I moved to Fort St. John for a year and got a little bit involved with arts and stuff there and kind of got back into dance a little bit.
Did you work with Stage North?
No. I danced there with Studio to Stage in their adult tap class, which is really quite a blast.
Yeah.
And then I was also in a production of The Nutcracker here randomly as Uncle Drosselmeyer, who I got recast as many years later. Apparently, I am just obviously Uncle Drosselmeyer.
You just got that Uncle Drosselmeyer vibe.
I got that like crazy old magical uncle vibe.
That I just watched a video about that show. I didn't realize how insane it is.
It is really bonkers.
It's insane. Like, have you like watched the play or anything like that?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
I would feel like Ryan would be a good Uncle Drosselmeyer as well.
Crazy old, slightly creepy uncle. It's a good time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for someone to notice.
But also magical toy maker.
Oh,
Makes
yeah.
life-size toys that dance for you.
That's pretty sweet.
Which is also kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Yeah, but so we've cast you as the priest from Footloose, and then we've cast you as Uncle Drosselmeyer from Nutcracker.
Both
But you'll have
references
to
that I
fight me for that
understand.
one. Also, I'm just going to throw this to Grady. Uncle Drosselmeyer frequently wears a cape.
That is so right. I forgot it. He has a top hat and a cape. That's crazy.
He could. Yeah,
That's
sometimes
crazy.
an eye patch.
I feel like Ryan and I could play him with, like, you know how like in cartoons, like one person goes on the shoulders and they wear a big trench coat.
That's perfect.
I think we could play Uncle Drosselmeyer like that.
Well, it's very frequent that in Clara's dream. Okay, so Clara's a little girl in the Nutcracker, and she is given a Nutcracker doll, like, you know, an actual Nutcracker, by her crazy Uncle Drosselmeyer, who also brings like a giant dancing bear, usually, or a giant dancing ballerina wind-up doll.
Yeah.
But then when Clara falls asleep at midnight on Christmas Eve, she has a crazy dream where she's in a magical land and everything is bigger, including her. So you guys, you know, one of you could start as Uncle Drosselmeyer, and then you could come back for the crazy dream,
right,
and be giant.
Be giant, but you just establish the role of Uncle Drosselmeyer.
I did, yeah.
You just crush it.
Yeah, no one else has played him since, I don't think.
No, exactly. And then I understand. You taught me. So then.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, you did teach me in high school because you took over the musical theater program.
That was actually that same year.
Really? That you were Uncle Drosselmeyer?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a big year for you.
It was. I kind of forgot that happened. In that order, kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't forget that I taught you.
No.
It was super memorable, lovely time. Yeah.
Yes.
No. So I moved to Fort St. John for a year after getting my degree, and then I commuted back and forth for all of the semester that I taught you.
Wow.
And I filled in for Debbie Longley, who was on mat leave.
Yeah.
And I was an unqualified 23-year-old person.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to apply 3 times to get the job because they didn't really want to hire me.
Yeah.
But I was like,
hey,
you
you're
will.
persistent.
And they never found anyone else. So they hired me. Yay.
That's awesome.
And then I taught technically 2 blocks of drama and 1 block of dance. But, you know, it was supposed to be a musical theater year. So we ended up doing Your Favorites, a collection of musical theater hits.
Yes.
Just kind of like a variety show almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that very well. I was in that production. Yeah.
Although you did miss the final dress or the final performance.
I just missed the performances because I just left.
Yeah.
I was like, peace.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I left. I went up to Chelsea. I'm like, got a family vacation.
And I was like, I could fail him, but I didn't.
Wow, you should have.
You should have.
I did think about it.
Yeah.
But also I was 23 and had no guts.
Hey, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You can fail me now.
And I do every day.
It's not you that's failing him, Chelsea. It's the other way around.
You are on a podcast.
Anytime I don't come through with something, I'm failing you.
Exactly. So, what was that like a lot of like fake it till you make it? Like teaching, or was that just like I understand this world, I know how to kind of teach a little bit?
Yeah, it was mostly like Onchaga Hall is a magical place in my mind, and like it has all these rules that aren't written down. They're just kind of these weird unspoken things,
right? Or
sometimes very spoken, but not, you know, they don't seem official, I suppose, in some ways.
Yeah.
But like there's ways that you treat the hall so that it can continue to run. And the musical theater program also says that to me. It's like there's ways that it has to be run kind of in order to be successful. So I just tried to follow those same sort of, the same way I had been taught by Debbie and Shelley and Kyle.
Right.
They're sort of the team that make up the Anshaga Musical Theatre program.
So you've been teaching for a number of years at this point.
Yes.
How has that been? You had fun?
Yeah, I always seem to find my way back to it.
Yeah.
I kind of like, so after I taught you, I moved to Norway for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And I worked on a master's in Indigenous Studies there. And I didn't finish it because I fought too much with my professors. And then I moved back and I started teaching dance, and I worked at the college for 3.5 years and taught dance for 2 or 3 of those. I can't remember. And then I quit at the college. I had worked all the way up to being the acting director of student services for a 1.5 years.
Wow.
As my boss was on mat leave.
Wow, that seems to happen to you a lot.
Yeah,
you get promoted to
mat leaves are really good for me.
You just got mat leave energy when it comes to getting really great jobs.
I feel like mostly I have a hard time staying in one place for too long. Not because I don't get along with people or anything like that, but just because I get antsy, I guess. I like trying new things and I get bored.
Yeah.
And I just like to move around, which is, I think, also what keeps bringing me back to the theater, because there's just never anything boring, and every year is different.
Yeah. We can move this podcast around to another place while we're shooting. Just do it outside.
Perfect.
Go to
that
Norway.
would be my ideal setting, is constantly moving. If you wouldn't mind just picking everything up.
I can do that.
You know,
I can do that.
3 cameras.
Yeah, no, I can do that.
mics, yeah.
Ryan and I have big arms. Boom. But then, obviously, with your teaching and your work as a dancer and you're co-directing the musicals, you also do a lot of social activism. And of
Yeah.
course, you work with the Dawson Creek Pride Society, but I believe you also do a lot more with other areas in Dawson. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so actually after I quit the college, I got a job as, what was my title? Project coordinator for the Dawson Creek Community Action Team. It's funny because Community Action Team, what does that even mean? But it was actually all about the opioid epidemic.
Oh, really?
So my job was to put in place projects that would help to sort of lessen the effects of the opioid crisis. So basically what it boiled down to was trying to prevent deaths from overdose in Dawson Creek. So I did that for over 2 years, and I could probably talk about that in a whole other podcast.
Right.
But we ended up opening, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but Snow House, which wasn't open for, I think it was only open for about 2 years, which was quite unfortunate. But it was Dawson Creek's first supervised consumption site. And, you know, we would feed people hot meals. We provided showers. We provided laundry. We provided, clean gear to use with. People could bring in their used needles and we would dispose of them for them. And of course we would supervise people while they used drugs.
Right.
So yeah, that was my life for 2 years, and it was really meaningful work, really difficult work. Because you, not necessarily just because of who you were working with, although sometimes, but because there was a lot of opposition to it in the community as well.
What was your main takeaway from working in that field for 2 years in regards to the area and I guess how the area is affected by the opioid epidemic?
That is such a good question. My main takeaway was that it's such important work that needs so much more attention and care and people and involvement. If you've ever had a family member or friend with addictions, it's like one of the hardest things, for people to cope with, but on both sides. It's so hard to be an addicted person.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to have an addicted person that you love. It's very difficult work, and it needs just so much more attention. And how do I even say this? It's hard to find good help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with the system in terms of trying to get sober, in terms of trying to get any sort of programming that's accessible, that's useful, that's effective, and that really meets people where they're at. And it's just very, very complicated. When we were working at Snow House, the hardest thing was actually just trying to find people who were reliable, who would work with us.
Right.
Because they were so scared of the environment, which it's like, it's not, people would come to Snow House because they needed help and because they wanted community. Those are the biggest things. They wanted people there who cared about them. And it was such a nice thing in some ways, because if someone was missing a family member or a friend, they would come to us and say, hey, have you seen so-and-so?
Right.
Can you try and find out what's happened to them? And we could actually, help.
Yeah.
And we could do that. And some of the work was so rewarding. Having people come in and you'd say, hey, like, I haven't met you before. Do you want a hot meal? And they'd be like, what? And we'd be like, yeah. And then you could be like, do you want a shower? And they'd be just like blown away that we could offer those services. And they're basic human needs, Everyone needs a place to get clean. Everyone needs food to eat. And we would do people's laundry and they'd just be like over the moon.
Yeah.
You'd hear them singing in the shower and stuff like that. It was so incredibly sweet. Difficult though. Yeah. Lots of, community opposition and backlash. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think that backlash is due to? In like your opinion, obviously.
Well, I think there's just a lot of stigma against drug users in general. Sometimes because drug users do have erratic behavior, that happens. But aside from that, even there's lots of drug users who don't. And there's people who use those services who you would never know use those services. Right. You would never guess.
Right.
And I think a lot of the backlash is also just about homelessness in general. People don't like to see poverty. They don't like to see that. And they want it out of their backyards, you know?
Right.
They don't want to be faced with the difficulties that real life humans have to deal with. I think it makes them feel guilty in some cases, or privileged, where they're just like, oh, some people have to live like that. And they don't feel like there's anything they can do about it. And so they just feel a lot of anger. And they do the worst things. We had people who would chase our peers. That's the people we worked with, our peers. They would chase them with cars. Sometimes in mobs of people. Yeah, it was crazy. They beat them up. There's all sorts of crazy things that happen. It was very, So that made it frightening in a different way, because you're not necessarily scared of the people you're working with. You're scared of
the backlash,
the vigilantes, the people who would come after them.
Right.
And the other thing I really think a big takeaway from that work was that the biggest issue for me that I saw lead to drug use and addiction in a big way was just poverty. Poverty leads to addiction in a big way.
Right.
And people's lives that they can't cope with, they haven't found good coping mechanisms, or they just can't cope. They turn to alcohol, they turn to drugs. And, that is normal. People need coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
And instead of, trying to make their lives harder, what we need to do is try to take away any things that make those lives so difficult that they cannot live them without these substances.
Right. That's very well put. Thank you. Think it's still an issue in this area?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. And it's everywhere in Canada. It's not going anywhere, really.
No.
And I think as sort of income inequality continues to grow, we're going to just see it be more of a problem.
Yeah, exactly. We've kind of seen it kind of explode in the past few years.
Yes.
Since COVID as well.
Yeah.
So you did work with treating and helping people with opioid addictions, and then also I work with the Dawson Creek Pride Society.
Yes.
So when did you get involved with the Pride Society here in Dawson?
Oh my gosh. I don't actually super remember, but the very first Pride I went to here, it's kind of impressive. I think it was 2005.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've like not quite gotten into arguments, but like can't remember exactly where. I think it was at the old Alliance Church. I know one year it was there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was quite fabulous. And weirdly, at school that year, when you're in French immersion, you have to make, or at that time, you had to be in the French infotech class.
Yeah.
That was the only French option you could take aside from like French and socials.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had made a film that year where I had asked all of my male friends and then even some boys in school that I had not even really met yet if they would dress in drag and dance around to a song. And I had like 30 boys in high school dress up in drag and dance around to a song and let me film them.
Wow.
So I made a little drag film and I aired that at Pride in 2005. Those were the first times I went to Pride anyway. Mm-hmm. And then I don't think I really got involved with society. I sometimes performed at Pride.
Yeah.
Like probably the same year that I taught you, which was 2013.
That was a big year for you.
Yeah, it was a big year. Big
Uncle
year for the arts.
Big year for the arts.
Chelsea back in the art scene.
Uncle Drosselmeyer. Grady not showing up to the performances.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I'll never forget that. I'll never let you live it down.
Hopefully resentment for the rest of my life.
And then eventually I got involved more with the board. It must have been like, I don't know, probably like 6 years ago or something like that. And I was like, hey, maybe we should actually be a society. Like, you know.
Oh, you actually came up with that. Wow.
Well, they were a society, but they were like an informal society. So
but like you wanted to like kind of make it more structured.
I was like, then we could apply for grants.
Yeah.
People would give us money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we incorporated as a society. And now I'm the president, which is fun. Yeah, I don't know. We run events throughout the year. We have Pride Walk every June now. We just had our third one. I think I was president in 2020 or something, maybe 2021. And then I moved to Montreal very briefly, so I kind of stepped down.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back, I was like, hey. Yeah, and we had... 2020 was actually a big year for us in a way. We had a ton of vandalism to our crosswalk.
Can you talk about that a bit more?
Yeah.
What that means for people outside of our community?
Yeah, that's been a constant problem basically since it's been sort of renovated.
Yeah.
So the decision to have a rainbow crosswalk in Dawson Creek actually was not the Pride Societies. It was Dawson Creek City Council.
Yeah.
They wanted to have a rainbow crosswalk in Dawson. And that year, 2020, was a bad year for it. I think it was one of the first years that it really got repainted with this new rainbow. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's people who spray painted like some really hilarious graffiti on it. I don't know how PG this is supposed to be.
PG. You can replace every expletive with Uncle Drosselmeyer, please.
I'm going to say one of the things said, I like kitty on it, which we were like, yeah, so do lots of people in the gay community. Yeah. And someone poured a bunch of like weird black oily stuff all over it and stuff. And it was just getting really, really bad. And we were also getting really demoralized.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard in your community to see people like just so viciously hate you that they're like willing to break the law
to vandalize something that you care about.
Yeah,
that's not just a piece of art almost. Like it's not even, I don't know.
No, it represents real people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, wow, you're really expressing your hate. because that's all it is, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a while, we were just upset, and we like released some statements about how upset it made us. And then we decided that we needed to turn it into something more positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided we would have a big community photo on the crosswalk,
Mm-hmm.
And that people should come wearing colorful clothing, and
Yeah.
we would stand on the crosswalk and show people just how many of us there are
Mm-hmm.
who support the queer community in Dawson Creek.
Yeah.
So we did that. The weather could not have been worse. It was so cold and rainy, even though it was like, I don't remember, May or something like that. Like, it should have been hot and beautiful. And it was
Murphy's
just
Law,
like
hey?
miserable, like storming. And we still had like over 100 people show up.
Wow.
Wow.
And it was just lovely. And we hadn't done that much as the Pride Society yet at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we just had our annual Pride celebration in October at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
That was basically all we did.
Yeah.
We had one big party in October.
Yeah.
So to see the community really come together for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked the city if a fireman could come and on the big fire truck take a picture from high up, and they did. And
Wow. Wow.
It
That's
was-
awesome.
it was really lovely. And then I think that was kind of a turning point for us because we started doing more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like more support from the community as the years go on, or do you think that has, because obviously 2020 was a big year for like social reckoning because we're all in lockdown, right? Because you had obviously the George Floyd protests and
Yep.
and all that stuff, and then people were just going insane and doing awful things like vandalizing the crosswalk. But do you think since the pandemic has ended, has it gotten better with support from the community, or do you think it's roughly the same? Or
I think it's very divisive.
mm-hmm.
Like, we have more support in some ways. Like, people are louder about being supportive.
Yeah.
And, we have our Pride Walk, and it has great attendance. And, there's more places to do things like buy rainbow flags in town, and more people who wear them just casually and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And more recognition of all the different, the spectrum of gender and sexuality, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
But there is still very vocal hate, and it can still be very scary. Like, I haven't even told the rest of the Pride Society. I guess I should. Here, guys, this is your heads up. But we just had an event. We had a free screening of Barbie,
Yeah.
the Barbie movie,
Yeah.
at Magic Lantern Cinemas.
Yep.
And it was wonderful. We had like 130 people, and it was sponsored by Spickers, South Peace Community Resources Society.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we're so happy to work with you, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it again. This was so great." They were like, "But just so you know, we bought more flags, but you should know that the flags in front of our building that we had hung got burned the other day. And they're like melted to our building now." And you're just like, wow, that's like some intense
Hate.
Like, that's a person who's willing to commit arson, basically. Like, they could have burned down the building. Just to show you that they hate you. And like, sometimes you're just like, what do I even do with this? Like,
It's at a certain point you're just like, this is just ridiculous.
yeah.
Like I don't get it.
And it's funny because, like, personally, I'm not scared anymore. There was a time when I was a little fearful, but I'm
Yeah.
not fearful anymore. I'm 35 years old. Like, I don't know. I'm like, if someone was going to do something to me, they should have done it by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
and it's been a while since I think also when you get older, people do treat you better. Because when I was a teen, I got more homophobia,
Right.
like in my face about me.
Right.
But now that I'm older, people are like, oh, whatever, you're old, so
Yeah.
it's too late for you. You're not a teen. I can just like push around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm personally not scared, but that doesn't mean I don't feel this like animosity. And
Yeah.
it sucks to just know that there's just people out there who just like make it their whole personality to hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just really unfortunate in this area.
And I'm really protective of our younger queer people. Like,
Yeah.
that is what it brings out in me more than anything. Like,
Yeah.
more like mama bear kind of thing, where I'm just
Yeah.
like, you don't mess with mine.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, you want us to go away? Well, we're never going to. And we're going to make it more of your problem then. You know, there's been people who've joked like, oh, every time they deface the crosswalk, you should just paint another. And we're like, basically like, yeah, okay. Like, we're not going to necessarily paint another crosswalk, but we've been talking about a mural. We do more events.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're not going anywhere.
No, nor should you.
No.
Because you and the Dawson Creek Pride Society are a huge part of our community, and we don't want you to go.
Yeah.
Because you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Of course.
We try.
Yeah, of course. Also, I'm a big fan of your work as Uncle Drosselmeyer, but that's neither here nor there.
I'll sign a program for you later.
Yeah, thank you. Can you make an acting class just to train Uncle Drosselmeyers? Is that doable? Or?
Yeah, but you have to learn magic also, so that's... and ballet.
You'll have to wear a cape. Oh, my cape fell off.
It did.
Shoot.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
The cape's rejecting you as Uncle Drosselmeyer. I'm sorry.
Listen, you know
that's part of the class.
Is that you have
it's the audition process to get into the class.
Into the cape. This is so warm. I just love it. I wore this downtown today, just walking around to test it out, and it was wool and it was very hot outside, but I still enjoyed myself. Good. So that's good. That's good. That's good.
Okay, maybe I'll rethink your qualifications.
My dedication to the Uncle Drosselmeyer
yes, to the role.
Yes. What was your favorite part of the Nutcracker? So it was really aggressive.
I did have a question relating to the previous, but
sorry.
if you want to go on a non-sequitur, that's
go.
fine. When it comes to like dealing with this outright hatred that you have to endure, do you find that the kill them with kindness is the most effective way to deal with it, or do you have to take it with a little bit of aggression yourself?
Personally, I am very much of the kill them with kindness approach. That is 100% my approach, because I think, like, I don't want to fuel their fire. If anything, I just want to make them look worse for trying to take us down, because all we do is awesome things. So that's why, like, we screen the Barbie movie for free, with obviously help from the communities, because South Peace Community Resources paid for the tickets and ARC Resources Limited paid for the snacks. But, you know, we wanted something. They asked us, what can we do? And we're like, these are the things you can do. Because we were like, this would make a completely free experience for the whole community. Anyone can come. You know, it's not even a gay movie, really. It's the Barbie movie. Yeah. So it's like, we just want to be known in the community as someone, as like a group that does awesome things that just build people up and make the community better. We make it colorful. We make it beautiful. Yeah. We make it free. We make it accessible. We just want to paint ourselves as like the best, most fun people, because that's who we also are. Like, I love our group. I love our Pride Society. I love our members. I love the people who come to our events. They're just wonderful. They're wonderful people who just like have so much fun. And I'd like to keep it that way, and not sink down and make it about aggression or have these, like, you know, Facebook fights or anything like that. Like, I don't want to get into the comments section. I just want to be there. If I am, I'm saying, hey, I think you should come to the Barbie movie, you know?
You're trying to sell some tickets, you know? Yeah. I think it's even more inspiring to do that in the face of aggression, right? And like, this is who we are, and this is who we are, and you can take it or leave it, right? Yeah. Especially in, you know, this area. I think it's just tremendous. So. Yeah,
and really make it like, you can say whatever you want. You can burn our flags. You can paint our crosswalks with all the hatred you want. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're an institution. Sorry about it. Why don't you try coming and having fun with us instead? Because all of our events are just like the best time. So I don't know why you would hate us. Yeah.
Not very well put. And I have 3 final questions for you. I'm going to do it rapid fire. Okay, you're not even going to think about it. Okay, favorite musical?
Ooh, Reefer Madness.
Favorite movie?
That's hard. I don't know.
Come on.
Spice World.
Agreed. I love Spice World. And then my final question, what is the first word that comes to you when you think of Dawson Creek?
Dawson Creek. Community. Yeah. That's why I'm always here, is for the people and for the experiences I get to have here that I just can't have anywhere else. I've lived all over the place. I've lived in Fort St. John. I've lived in Vancouver. I've lived in Tromsø, Norway. I've lived in Washington, D.C. I've lived in Montreal. But here is like where you can bring people together to do a cool creative thing, and it's easy. That's what I love the most about it, is like it's achievable here. You can ask people favors and get into places that you wouldn't normally be able to get into, and everything still feels very grassroots and small town in ways that just make it really accessible for doing like the arts, for doing community events, for bringing people together. Yeah, and COVID has made that harder, but I think we're getting back to where we were, and that's really awesome to see, and I'm just like pushing for that every day.
That's perfect. Very well said. That's a perfect way to end off, but I'm going to ruin it. What's your favorite part of the Nutcracker?
Well, I do really love Uncle Drosselmeyer's part. And the first Nutcracker we did was like the Nutcracker Remixed, it was called. And that meant that they put like hip hop in it, and they put tap in it. So I was tap dancing Uncle Drosselmeyer. And then the second time I played Uncle Drosselmeyer, I think it was all ballet or something.
Wow.
And that one was really fun because I got to do these like really big leaping passes in it, where I did these like big jumps with Clara, and I just loved that.
I was going to ask if Uncle Drosselmeyer break danced?
He did not. Unfortunately, my breakdancing skills require a lot of attention.
Well, you know what? You can't be a perfect Uncle Drosselmeyer.
No,
it's okay
I can't.
to be.
You could bring that to the role.
I could.
Yeah.
I could do a spinneroonie right now in this library, but I don't think it's a good idea.
If I were to, I would put the jostle in Drosselmeyer.
The jostle in Drosselmeyer.
Sure, yeah, that's his name.
This has been an absolute treat. Thank you so much for coming down, Chelsea, and really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, whatever. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching the Not Dawson's Creek podcast. Directed by Grady McTavish. Produced by Quentin Tootin and Grady McTavish. Directors of photography, Quentin Tootin and Ryan Leewood. That's me. Art director, Charlie McLean. Sound, Taylor Leewood. Camera operators, Charlie McLean and Quentin Tootin. Special thanks to Chelsea Mackay, the Dawson Creek Public Library, Pam Morris, the Dawson Creek Pride Society, and Uncle Drosselmeyer. Bye-bye.